Oh, hello there. I'm Bilchan.
I'm Nimakong.
I'm Banchan.
In this class, I'll read to all of you Chapter 6, Section 1 of The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
As.
Ah.
The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Author Conan Doyle. Chapter 6, Section 1. Sir Whitney, brother of the late Elias Whitney. The Idiot, principal of the Theological College of Street, Shoreditch, was much addicted to opium. The habit grew upon him, as I understand, from some foolish freak when he was at college, for having read De Quincey's description of his dreams and sensations. He had changed his tobacco with laudanum in an attempt to produce the same effects. He found, as so many more have done, that the practice is easier to attain than to get rid of. And for many years he continued to be a slave to the drug, an object of mingled hurt and pity to his friends and relatives. I can see him now, with yellow, hearty face, open lids, and pinpoint pupils, all huddled in a chair, the wreck and ruin of a nobleman. One night, it was in June, there came a ring to my bell, about the hour when a man gives his first yawn and glances at the clock. I sat up in my chair, of disappointment. "A patient," said she. I groaned, for I had nearly come back from a weary day. We heard the door open, a few hurried words, and then quick steps upon the linoleum. Our door flew open, and a lady, clad in some dark-coloured stuff, with a black veil, entered the room. "You will excuse my calling so late," she began. And then, suddenly losing her self-control, she ran forward, threw her arms about my wife's neck, and sobbed upon her shoulder. "Oh, I'm in such trouble," she cried. "Why," said my wife, pulling up her veil, "it is Kate Whitney. How you startled me. Kate." I didn't know what to do, so I came straight to you. That was always the way. Folk who were in grief came to my wife like birds to a lighthouse. It was very sweet of you to come. Anne, you must have some wine and water, and sit here comfortably and tell us all about it. "Oh, no. Oh, I want the doctor's advice and help. It's about Issa. He has not been home for 2 days. Trouble. To me as a doctor. To my wife as an old friend and school companion. We soothed and comforted her by such words as we could find. Did she know where her husband was? Was it possible that we could bring him back to her? It seems that it was. She had the surest information that of late he had, when the fit was on him, made use of an opium den in the farthest east of the city. Hitherto his orgies had always been confined to one day, and he had come back, twitching and shattered, in the evening. But now the spell had been upon him 48 hours, and he lay there, thus among the dregs of the docks, breathing in the poison or sleeping off the effects. There he was to be found. She was sure of it. At the Bar of Gold, in Upper Swandam Lane. But what was she to do? How could she? A young and timid woman. Ruffians who surrounded him. There was the case. And of course there was but one way out of it. Might I not escort her to this place? And then, as a second thought, why should she come at all? I was Sir Whitney's medical advisor, and as such I had influence over him. I could manage it better if I were alone. Within 2 hours, if he were indeed at the address which she had given me. And so in 10 minutes I had left my armchair and cheery sitting room behind me, and was speeding eastward in a hansom on a straight errand. As it seemed to me at the time, that the future only could show how strange it was to be. But there was no great difficulty in the first stage of my adventure. North side of the river to the east of London Bridge. Between a slop shop and a gin shop. Mouth of a cave. I found a den of which I was in search. Ordering my cab to wait, I passed down the steps. Worn hollow in the centre by the ceaseless tread of drunken feet, and made my way into a long, low room, thick and heavy with the brown opium smoke, and terraced with wooden berths, like the forecastle of an emigrant ship. Polas, broad shoulders, bent knees, heads thrown back, and chins pointing upward, with here and there a dark, lacklustre eye turned upon the newcomer. Out of black shadows there glimmered little red circles of light, now bright, now faint, as the burning poison waxed or waned in the bowls of the metal pipes. The most lay silent, but some mattered to themselves, and others talked together in a strange, low, monotonous voice, their conversation coming in gushes, and then suddenly tailing off into silence. Nearby, at the farther end was a small brazier of burning charcoal, beside which on a 3-legged wooden stool there sat a tall, thin old man, with his jaw resting upon his 2 fists, and his elbows upon his knees, staring into the fire. As I entered, a jerk, beckoning me to an empty berth. Thank you. I've not come to stay, said I. There is a friend of mine here. Mr. Sir Whitney. There is a movement and an exclamation from my right. I'm peering through the gloom. I saw Whitney. Well, to be continued.